Hi everyone, I'm Hampus Zetfors and I'm going to give you some practical tips on how to include users in your everyday work. Let's switch to the presentation. All right, so there we are. A bit about me first. I'm actually a new dad. I have a son who's only 8 weeks old. So I spend a lot of my time looking like this, carrying him around. He doesn't want me to sit down in front of the TV. I need to be walking around, which has led to me actually rediscovering books. I read audiobooks a lot now because that's a great way for me to kill time while I have no access to my hands. This means I have a contextual disability, and audiobooks has really been a lifesaver for me the past few weeks. So tip for you guys who are in the book industry or audiobook industry, market to parents. It's great. Apart from being a new dad, I am also an accessibility nerd. I am one of the organizers of a meetup called the T12T Accessibility Meetup. T12T is for tillgänglighet, 12 letters between the T's in that word. And we arrange 4 meetups a year. They're all online now. 2 of them are in English, so you should check it out, completely free. It's at t12t.se. I am also an accessibility consultant in my day job. I meet a lot of organizations and I help them on their accessibility journeys. And what I usually come across are people who are about to set out on an accessibility adventure. And most of these people I've noticed come across this treasure map, which looks something like this. It goes from poor accessibility to great accessibility. And there are 2 main steps in there. Number 1 is read along checklist. And number 2 is conform to that checklist. And this is actually a haunted or fake map. But the people I meet don't know this, so they follow it and they go find that checklist. And usually it's a really long checklist. It's called Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, or the Guidelines for Accessible EPUB, or something like that. So this is actually the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines. It's 98 pages of pure text. And when people find this, they are usually really bored, and they think it's long, and they think it's scary, and they abort their mission, which is a real pity. Because accessibility should be really like engaging and exciting, and should be really important, and should make you feel proud of your work, and you should learn a ton of new things. It's great working with accessibility, but checklists, they don't do any of this, or they feel boring and makes you want to stop working with accessibility. So according to me, approaching inclusion and accessibility with a focus on checklists is counterproductive and kind of stupid, actually. Instead, I've rewritten this map, going from poor accessibility to great accessibility. And step 1 is meet real users. And step 2 is conform to their needs. This is a much, much, much better map. And let's look at how to do this. Because one field that's really great at understanding users is the field of UX, which is actually my primary degree from education as a UX designer. And UX is user experience, and we're all about designing stuff that works well for users. And accessibility should definitely be a part of user experiences and not something separate. And the thing is, UX designers, they don't have a lot of checklists. They have some, but they're really short and they don't put a lot of focus on them. Instead, what they do have is a lot of methods to understand users. So going from checklists to methods is something that accessibility should be doing. And one of the best methods and most widely used methods is the thinking aloud usability testing method, because it's really effective and really simple. This is it in a nutshell. You meet a real person, then you ask them to carry out a few tasks on your product, like find a book, read it, or get an account, or things like that. Then you ask them to think aloud while they're doing the task. You observe them without helping, you note down what doesn't work, and then you fix it, and you repeat with 3 to 5 users. Let's see this thinking aloud usability testing in action. Not so long ago, I did some tests of ebooks together with MTM. And we're going to look at one user who uses a screen reader, struggling first in this first clip. She's opened the book and she's trying to read it. It's in Swedish, but you can check out the subtitles in English.
Det är väldigt tyst och ledsamt allting. Copyright vet jag i alla fall, men annars så...
2%.
Desperation trycker på copyright.
Copyright.
Nej.
2%.
Det är liksom en död sida i min värld. Tyvärr.
Now let's look at the clip from a few months later with the same user using the same service that had been improved.
I kvarteret den sommaren. Ingen visste vad han hette och ingen visste det. Även om ett ord som passerade. Han var 154 centimeter. Ingen visste vad.
Ja, gick det med.
Gick det bättre den här gången än förra?
Ja, definitivt. Det känns som hela appen är mycket enklare och renare och mer användbar än förut.
Just det.
Jag är nöjd.
Ja. So as you can see from these video clips, they're really, I think at least, engaging. Like when you show these to your colleagues, you'll get them engaged in accessibility. You want to make a difference, and you're proud when you see the change that has been made. So this is the map. Again, meet real users and conform to their needs. And it's a great map because on the back, there are 5 tips on user inclusion. And number 1 is just do a small tests, but often. So 3 to 5 users a few times a year, that's enough. You can ask for help recruiting users. There are great Facebook groups, there are disability organizations, there are companies like mine who'll gladly help you out, so you don't have to do it all by yourself, at least the first time. Make some clips, show them everywhere, because it really gets people moving. So show them on board meetings, show them on team building days, show them on conferences, show them to all your colleagues, any chance you get. If you want to take it one step further, you can gather a reference group that you can kind of revisit a few times a year. I know the transportation sector in Sweden have a few organizations who have gone together and created a reference group with people from different disability organizations, and they have ways of paying them and including them in different projects, and it's really sped things up and made things more effective, and there's a greater chance you actually do this if it's easy to do. And finally, I think this might be the biggest one: select an accessibility champion, which is a person in your organization who's in charge of making accessibility happen, of spreading awareness to colleagues, of learning new stuff. So give someone that role, and great things will happen. So good luck on your journey, and if you need any assistance at all, don't hesitate to contact me, Hampus at accesslab.com. See you out there. Bye-bye.